Elon Musk walked into the sleek, modern office building, dressed casually in jeans and a t-shirt. He didn't look like a billionaire, let alone the CEO of multiple companies. He was there for an unannounced visit to one of Tesla's regional offices. No security entourage, no prior notice, just a man who wanted to see how things were running on the ground. As he stepped into the lobby, he approached the reception desk, where a young woman sat scrolling through her phone. She barely glanced up before sighing. "Yes?" she said in a bored tone. Elon gave her a small smile. "Hey, I was wondering if I could speak to the manager." The receptionist, whose name tag read Jessica, arched an eyebrow. "Do you have an appointment?" "No, but I think he'd want to see me," Elon replied, maintaining his calm demeanor. Jessica scoffed. "Yeah, that's not how it works. You can't just walk in here and demand a meeting." She looked him up and down, clearly unimpressed. "Who even are you?" Elon bit back a chuckle. "I work with Tesla," he said vaguely. Jessica rolled her eyes. "Oh, another engineer thinking he's important? Listen, I don't have time for this. If you don't have an appointment, you're not getting in." Elon nodded slowly, taking in the situation. "I understand. What's your name?" She hesitated, then said, "Jessica." "Well, Jessica, I think it's important that employees treat visitors with a little more respect." Jessica huffed. "And I think it's important that people follow the rules. If I let in every random guy claiming to work with Tesla, I'd be out of a job." At that moment, a man in a suit walked by and did a double take when he saw Elon. His eyes widened in horror. "Mr. Musk," he stammered. What are you doing here?" Jessica's face drained of color. Mr. Musk?" she echoed, suddenly realizing her mistake. Elon smiled as if this was all amusing to him. "I was just trying to have a chat with the manager, but it looks like I don't have an appointment." The man in the suit, who was, in fact, the regional manager, turned to Jessica, his face pale. "Jessica, do you have any idea who you were talking to?" Jessica swallowed hard. I thought he was just some—" "This is Elon Musk," the manager interrupted. "The CEO of Tesla." Jessica looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her whole. "Oh my God," she whispered. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Musk. I didn't know—" Elon waved it off. "It's okay, but you should probably treat every visitor with a little more kindness. You never know who they might be." Jessica nodded frantically, her previous arrogance completely gone. "Yes, of course, it won't happen again." Elon turned back to the manager. "Let's go to your office. We need to talk about customer service." As they walked away, Jessica sat frozen in her chair, still processing what had just happened. She had just insulted one of the most powerful men in the world, without realizing he was her boss. And she had learned a valuable lesson. Never judge a book by its cover. Elon and the regional manager walked through the sleek glass doors into a conference room. The atmosphere had shifted completely. The receptionist, Jessica, still sat at her desk, her hands trembling slightly as she tried to focus on her computer screen. But her mind kept replaying what had just happened. Inside the conference room, the regional manager, a man in his late 40s named Mark, wiped sweat from his forehead. "Mr. Musk, I sincerely apologize for that. I had no idea you were coming, or I would have—" Elon held up a hand. "Mark, relax. I didn't come here to see a red carpet. I came to see how things actually operate when no one's expecting me." Mark nodded quickly. "Of course, sir. I completely understand." Elon leaned back in his chair. "What I just experienced at the front desk? That's a problem." Mark swallowed hard. I understand, sir. Jessica is new, but that's no excuse. I'll make sure this is addressed immediately." Elon tilted his head slightly. "It's not just about her. It's about company culture. If she feels comfortable being dismissive to visitors, it means that's the norm around here." Mark shifted uncomfortably. "I assure you, we take customer service very seriously." Elon studied him for a moment. "Then why did I just get treated like an inconvenience?" Mark had no answer. He cleared his throat and pulled out a notepad. I'll make sure to implement new training protocols. Elon shook his head. No corporate buzzwords. I want real changes. Every person in this building represents Tesla. When people come in, whether they're customers, investors, or just visitors, they should be treated with respect. Mark nodded. Understood. I'll handle it personally. Elon smiled slightly. Good. He glanced toward the glass wall where Jessica was still sitting stiffly at her desk. And Jessica? Mark sighed. She'll be reprimanded. Of course. Elon raised an eyebrow. Not fired? Mark hesitated. If you want her fired, sir, I can... Elon shook his head. No, I don't fire people for one mistake, but I do expect her to learn from it. Mark nodded quickly. I'll make sure of it. Elon stood up. Good, because the way employees treat people says a lot about the company, and I want Tesla to be known for more than just innovation. I want it to be known for its culture. As Elon left the conference room, he walked past the front desk. Jessica quickly stood up, her face pale. Mr. Musk, I just wanted to say, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to... Elon gave her a small nod. What's important is that you learn from this. Jessica nodded rapidly. I will. I promise. Elon turned to leave, but then paused. By the way, you might want to treat every visitor with respect. You never know when one of them might be your boss. Jessica let out a nervous laugh, still embarrassed. Yes, sir. Absolutely. As Elon walked out of the building, Mark trailed behind him, still rattled by the unexpected visit. But one thing was clear. Tesla's workplace culture was about to change. Later that day, as the office buzzed with gossip about what had happened, Jessica sat at her desk, staring at her screen, but barely processing anything. She had insulted Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, without realizing who he was. It was the kind of mistake people got fired for. Her hands were still slightly shaking as she picked up her phone and texted her best friend. You won't believe what just happened. I almost got myself fired today. A few minutes later, Mark, the regional manager, returned to the front desk. He took a deep breath and looked at Jessica, who immediately stiffened. Jessica, come with me, he said. Her heart pounded as she stood up, following him into a smaller meeting room. Was this it? Was she about to get fired? Mark gestured for her to sit down. She obeyed, clasping her hands together in her lap. Look, I won't sugarcoat it, he started. What happened today was bad, really bad. You insulted the CEO of the company without even realizing who he was. Jessica swallowed. I know, I feel terrible about it. I was having a bad day and I didn't think... Marky held up a hand to stop her. That's the problem, you didn't think, and that's exactly why Mr. Musk was here. He wanted to see firsthand how employees interact with people when they don't know who they're talking to. Jessica looked down, ashamed. Mark sighed. You're lucky he's not the type to fire people over a mistake, but he expects you to learn from this. She nodded quickly. I will, I swear. I'll be better. Mark studied her for a moment, then nodded. All right, starting tomorrow, you're going to go through a full customer service training program, and I want to see a real change, not just in how you treat visitors, but in how you represent this company. Jessica let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for giving me another chance. Mark stood up. Don't thank me. Thank Mr. Musk for believing in second chances. As Jessica returned to her desk, she made a silent promise to herself. She would never judge anyone based on appearance again. A week later, Elon Musk received an email from Mark with the subject line, Jessica's Progress. It contained a short message. Mr. Musk, I thought you'd like to know Jessica has completely turned things around. She's the most polite and professional employee at the front desk now. I think your visit was the wake-up call she needed. Elon smiled as he read the message. He had seen it happen before. Sometimes people just needed a moment of realization, to change. He replied simply, "Good to hear. Keep up the good work." And with that, he moved on to his next challenge, knowing that, in at least one small way, he had made Tesla a better place. A month had passed since Elon Musk's unexpected visit, and the atmosphere at the Tesla regional office had noticeably changed. Employees were more attentive, more professional, and, perhaps most importantly, more aware that anyone who walked through the doors could be someone important. Jessica, in particular, had undergone a complete transformation. Gone was the dismissive, uninterested receptionist who barely looked up from her phone. Now she greeted every visitor with a warm smile, asked how she could assist them, and ensured that each person felt welcomed. One afternoon, a man in a worn-out hoodie and jeans walked into the lobby. He looked slightly confused as he approached the reception desk. Hi. I was wondering if I could talk to someone about a job opening," he asked hesitantly. Jessica smiled. "Of course. Do you have an appointment or would you like me to see if someone from HR is available?" The man seemed surprised by her friendly attitude. "Oh, I don't have an appointment. I just thought I'd stop by." Jessica nodded. "No problem at all. Let me see who's free." She quickly made a call and arranged for someone from HR to come down. As the man waited, he smiled at her. "I really appreciate this. I've been to a few places today, and some of them barely even acknowledged me." Jessica chuckled. "Trust me, I've learned that you never know who someone really is. Everyone deserves respect." Just then, Mark, the regional manager, walked by and overheard the exchange. He couldn't help but smile. Later that day, he sent Elon Musk another email. Subject: "Your lesson stuck message. Mr. Musk, I just wanted to share something with you." Jessica handled a walk-in visitor today with professionalism and kindness. A month ago, she probably would have dismissed him without a second thought. "Your visit truly changed things here. Thank you for that." Elon read the email while sipping his coffee. He smirked slightly, then replied with a short but meaningful message. "Glad to hear it. Treat everyone well, not just because they might be important, but because it's the right thing to do." And with that, he closed his laptop, satisfied